Welcome to Theory After Hours, where we discuss business, interior design, real-life struggles, and the daily balancing act to make it all happen.
Is there a trend you'd love to see go away?
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
Mason jars and burlap.
Oh gosh,
just
please.
I want to ship them all out in the ocean and never see them again.
Do you have still brides and people that are like they want to do that?
I would.
Do
never,
they come to no? But do they come to you at the beginning?
I think that I am seeing a shift. I'm very excited about it from kind of that rustic chic to more of like the contemporary, and less can be more. I'm all about being mindful of budget, and you don't have to overdo everything, but simplicity and that more of contemporary vibe. I love because it can still be elevated and glamorous, still simplistic. But I think people think when they need to save on costs that they need to go more of that rustic, vibe. And it's not the case. I think we are seeing a little bit of a shift, which I'm very excited about.
And the DIY.
DIY, you have to tread cautiously again with DIY. I'm all about, if you have a skill or your mom or your best friend has a skill and you can save on costs because, say they're a calligrapher or something absolutely. But also DIY means a lot of work for you and your family and friends. It might mean you're in charge of setting up your own event if it's too DIY. And I would say this, especially a wedding, this is the one day where you should not be doing anything. And your bridesmaids and your family shouldn't either because you want them to really enjoy this experience. Yeah. So put it in the hands of a professional. There's certain ways you can save on costs and bring in some of those DIY elements, but an all kind of do-it-yourself event, I think, is just going to leave everyone feeling exhausted
and not enjoying the moment.
Yes.
And it might not give you the look because there's you hear Pinterest fails. That same thing happens with the DIY. So you have this vision in your head.
But whether you execute it is risky.
So that's a tough one.
It is a tough one. Yeah. I'm not a DIY planner by any means. I like to, if I can do something well, I'll do it. But if I know that it's not my area of expertise, then I will get a vendor that can do that well.
Exactly.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. I'm not going to pretend to know everything and to be able to do everything. It's full collaboration and teamwork in the event industry. You've got to partner yourselves with great people and talented people.
Very true.
Yeah, it is very
Yeah.
So this year, we're not setting New Year's resolutions, but we are working on standards with keywords. Did you remember the keywords?
Do you want to read them out for me? And
Sure.
Because I know you want me to pick out a couple that resonate with me, right? Yeah.
So control, ego, judgment, empathy, confidence, accountability, belief, leverage, execution, patience, value, and happiness.
Wow.
I'm working on the whole list,
yes.
so it's okay.
Okay. I mean, they all resonate with me to some degree. I mean, the first one, control, I laughed because I'm working on letting go a little bit more.
But you can tell control because you're like, I need to be there from the start to finish.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Very type A. But, I have a team for a reason and I trust them.
Yes.
And they're amazing. And the vendor teams that I work with are amazing. They're fully capable. I do not need to be there from start to finish. But control in all aspects of my life I'm working on, even at home, and not everything has to be perfect all the time. So I resonate with that one. Ego, I don't believe in ego. I leave ego at the door. I think kindness is always lead with kindness. And in business, that is first and foremost important to me. And I think I love working with other people that are humble and kind, and I wouldn't want them to work, with anything less than that. Accountability, that's a big one. I think people make mistakes. I make mistakes, but I own my mistakes.
Which is so important.
Yeah.
And I'm going to learn from my mistake and hopefully never make that mistake again. But mistakes happen in business. Mistakes happen in life. But, holding yourself accountable and my team accountable is absolutely important for me.
And people like you better. Like if you make a mistake and you explain it to the person that, might affect, then they're like, oh, she's human. And she was a good person because she came to me first and said it to me and didn't make up a story or try to hide it. And then you're like, you can't get mad.
Yep. Yeah. 100%.
Because nobody's perfect.
You're so right. Yeah. And then I guess just... I would say, execution in my job. That's huge. That's huge. That's huge. I've got to deliver. I've got to execute. So, that's a big one. And happiness. Happiness is something that resonates with me because that is what life. That's what that's what I personally strive for. On a day-to-day basis, is just to feel happy and confident in my decisions, because I control my own life. No one else controls my own life. A
lot of people don't realize it. They think the situation controls them,
or
themselves.
Other people. Yes. And that comes back to the health and wellness and balance. I am the only one that can create that for myself. The clients I take on, the business decisions I make, the decisions I make with my family, I'm in control of that. Of course, some with my partner.
Oh, yes.
My husband. But I would say I know now that happiness comes from me. So it's a focal point for 2019.
And that's a big one to learn.
It is. It's been, I've learned that the hard way sometimes, for real, and I just, especially in my younger years, thinking, like you said, happiness comes from like the situation or
maybe something you buy or something you
material,
get.
Exactly.
Or amount of money it's in your bank account that you made, right? Yes. And then you get to those things and you're like, if you're not happy, you're not happy. No,
it's so true. Like health, happiness.
Yeah.
It's a good focus.
So what do we expect to see from Aly in 2019? Besides your podcast, that's a big one.
That's a fun one. Yeah. I am being a little bit more strategic. I'm not going to work as much, so I'm not going to put forward perhaps the number of events that I've been doing the last couple of years, because I am striving for more of that health wellness balance. But I do want to continue to feel inspired and inspire others by the work that I'm doing. So I'm being more mindful about the projects, the events that I'm taking on. But I did start a new in-person workshop as well. So creating the content. So I'm going to work with those clients that perhaps, those brides that perhaps wouldn't be my client, because I only do full planning. But there's so many brides, grooms that need help and direction in their own planning process, and perhaps they don't have a wedding planner. So it's a 4-hour workshop, and I'll go through the wedding planning process from A to Z. Hopefully they'll leave feeling prepared and inspired to then plan their own wedding. So I'm really excited about focusing on that this year, and even taking it to other cities and just teaching.
I wish you
Prince George.
I'll come to Prince George. Could you come to Prince George?
100%.
Well,
and that's what I
host
mean.
you.
There are couples everywhere that need to know this information, and I'm really going to enjoy the teaching side of events.
It's brilliant.
It's a really good idea. And don't you feel that it fulfills you, because you're giving back all this knowledge that you have, and it's clients that you're saying, because you do the full package, that would never get it. They would never get that piece of you.
Right? And just have that planner perspective. And, I have made mistakes. I've done hundreds of events, and to take some of those key takeaways and teach people, what I've learned, and they can take it or leave it, but they'll also have the tools and the checklists that they need to help them in their planning process.
So we're serious. We're gonna I'll come to our store. We'll host it in our store.
Amazing! Oh my gosh, that would be so fun.
That would be a ton of fun.
I would love that.
Take the course. Not that I'm.
But you know what? It's good for event planning.
My kids. I have kids coming up.
And you can implement that in any event. It doesn't have to be a wedding.
Yes. We did a couple events this year. And we are the type of people that are like, we'll just learn it. We'll just do it as we go. Not DIYers though. No. Like we'll just we can do anything. Yeah. Whoa, Nelly. And I am like, what did you call me?
A bridezilla. So I said, if we do another event, I'm never doing another one with you if you're crazy, Bailey.
So funny.
Because I'm like, we're supposed to enjoy this. I don't want to work with crazy Bailey.
I'm a perfectionist, but then there is nothing as perfection, right? But I really want it to be like, because it's our name, so I need it to be to the T. And then it's just...
And this is why I don't take on as many weddings anymore.
Don't ever do it.
I love it. But yes, it's an important day.
I'm not married in Canada, though. We got married in the Dominican 10 years ago in April, and we lost the marriage license, and we never registered. So it's 10 years this April. And we're always like, we should get remarried. I just really want another dress.
Yeah, right?
I know. Honestly, the dresses.
Can we talk about that? Because, like,
the fashion this year is beyond.
I got married 10 years ago, and it was like polyester and taffeta and bejewels. And I went to Toronto, and I was like, can I just have silk? Can I have simple, nice fitting silk?
Yeah.
I don't want to be, like, the materials used to be so cheap.
But it's like the dress is wearing you, and you want, when you
I just wanted a nice dress.
Yeah.
So it's come so far from 10 years ago.
And what I love is I feel like in the past, brides especially felt like they had to have a certain look or have a traditional element to them. And now it's about individuality. Yeah. Anything goes. There are no rules. Yeah. And it's so exciting because people can really choose a dress that reflects them, that they feel good in. I mean, there's even like the sexy factor has gone through the roof, and it's now okay if that's the direction you want to go. I mean, we still are always going to have those simple and classic looks that are timeless. But, if you have a fun personality and you want it to shine, the fashion selections are like endless.
Make sure you subscribe to Theory After Hours so you don't miss an episode. Love, the Theory Ladies.